Hello everybody, Thorgal here, and welcome back to another episode of Unbound. So before we go over to the new base area, I wanted to get the wood production going again. And get everything into my system. Now that I have pretty much endless storage, I'm gonna pull everything out of here. So I set up my main ender chest right here. That's white, like always. Let me just fix my headset here, sorry. And I also started the plastic going again, even though we have a lot of plastic now. I put in another stack in each, so we have over 1,000. I don't know exactly how much, but over 1,000. So there's a going again, and I decided I'm going to use XNet for this, because it's going to be the quickest. I really like XNet, so I'm going to put a connector here, there, and then this is going to be a little bit tricky here. Getting all of these in place. Some of them I can click on the ground, but then there's still leaves here. But now it gets tricky here. I'm going to have to shift click against the other connectors here. And it should be very simple. Just import everything. There we go. And then I can cover it up again. And now we just got to connect cable, cable, and cable. Just like that. Okay. So now we can put the controller up here. Doesn't really matter. This thing should not connect here. Doesn't. Good. And it should be powered. Good. So, we're gonna make an item right here. Create, and we're going to extract on stack on each one of them. Alright, and the last one right here. And then we say insert up here into this chest. So now we should see here, look at that. Alright, so there's lots of stuff coming in right now. And that's working nice. Okay. Alright, good. And I think, yeah, I still have to cover this up. So this one is gonna be you. And I like that this actually forms that way. I'm gonna do these ones first. Right there. There. And there. Alright, and now we switch to the regular planks. Just don't forget to hold down shift or you keep opening the connectors. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. I mistakenly clicked on the... Oh boy, that's just great. Let's use this one. Okay, now I have to set that up again, that one. Extract and stack. Now where's this one right here? This needs to be... I right-clicked the chest by mistake, so it changed the... texture of it to a chest. Alright. And done. All tucked away and everything is coming over here now. Very cool. So this is probably empty, all of them. Very nice. So we got that set up. And now the other thing is that I'm not sure what I want to do with this one here. I set this up a while ago. This is I think we're gonna take this with us and set it up over in the other area real quick. And these two machines I'll pick up later because I'm gonna need a wrench. Okay, so, probably also take these two with me. So I only have to get these. And I don't know what we're gonna do with this building. But let's go ahead and go over here. And sleep. Bam. Yep. What, is it not night? Okay. There we go. Now it's morning. So check it out. We had a little live stream. And we laid out the entire area here into different buildings. And I think I'm going to need more room. But it's a start. And then we started building this here a little bit. And I finished it between episodes up just like that. I like it. It's very simple to build. But I think it looks good. The black and the white accents really loosen this up. It's a lot of brick. So definitely the other buildings here, I'm gonna have to figure out what to do. It's almost overwhelming, a lot of brick. Especially when we set up the wall around it as well. So I'm gonna have to figure out what to do there. But the other thing I also did is I moved all of our stuff from over here. So the brick production is turned off right now with the two levers. I'm full on bricks. And I moved all of this stuff over here. And I made 3 machines. I made a pulverizer and then upgraded it twice and gave it 2 of the auxiliary reception coils to make these faster. These are my hand processing things, right? If I just need to, like, I needed to make hardened glass, so I can pulverize obsidian and lead here. I can smelt something if I need real quick. And right here, I make invar and electrum and hardened glass and stuff. If I need gears, I still put them in here. I don't see any reason to put something else because we have that night plate press and it works fine. Plates, obviously, the same. Or I can process the only... Actually, all of these are coming back. The only things that are not being automated so far is the rods and the wires. But I shouldn't need many of those anymore. Okay, anyway. So now the thing is here, I like integrated dynamics. And if we check here at integrated, I'm running low. Oh, I do have 54 blocks left. But let me just show you guys how you can automate this here real quick. I'm just going to put this here for now. I'm going to probably not leave it in this building. So we're going to need the mechanical squeezer. Let's put that right there with a power cell next to it. And then from there, it goes directly into the drying basin. And from the drying basin, we need a duct pulling out into a drawer. Just like that. And then we put this here and set it to always on. Here we go. So now if I take a stack of this wood here and come in here and put this in here, you guys see it's getting squeezed. And then it automatically pushes the liquid into the basin over here. And then this is going to dry. You guys see it dried and it's going to put it over here and that gives me a whole block. Now I guess the only other thing I need to do... it looks like there's going to be pretty much almost exactly 4 stacks. So I'm just going to take them out by hand. No reason to automate this. I don't need that much stuff. And let me also put this away. So, now that all of this is out of the way. Oh yeah, there's one more thing. Oh yeah, I totally forgot. At the end of the stream... Oh, why was it all pink? I needed a lot of dye. A lot of the dark gray to make the floor, the concrete over there. And you guys see I have tons and tons of dye now, right? Because we spent some time and automated this. I'm really happy I got some super input from you guys on the stream. Thank you so much for the people that showed up. And let me just take off my magnet just to make sure. So we're going down here. Right here. Underneath this one. I can show you. You guys see there is a... what is it called? The thing right here, a mana spreader, shooting down into that pool down there that you can just see right there. And then in front of that is a spreader with a phantom lens. And that shoots this way. And that goes to another... By the way, the spreader that's back there is a diluted mana spreader because I didn't want that to be full, right? And that brings the mana to right here. And here I have a pulse mana spreader on top with a timer set to 500 ticks, which is 25 seconds, I think. Every 25 seconds, this gives us a redstone signal and then shoots over here. And you guys see it just popped out all of the flowers from the ground. And right there is a jaded amaranth that just keeps growing them. Okay. And then it goes up into here. And in the ceiling, there is XNet running again, of course, to this controller. And then I have 4 crafters tier 3 over here. And in each one of them, I have a recipe to break a flower into the petals. And I'm keeping that internally, so the petals stay here. Alright, and then another recipe where it takes the petals with a pestle and mortar and makes it floral powder and then XC. That is something I didn't know existed, which is really cool. What that means is that the result that you get from this, it puts it into this one so I can suck it out. But other things like a bucket or a pestle and mortar and so on, they stay in the internal here. Otherwise, if I change this to just external, it will put the mortar and pestle down here every time, right? So let me see here if I can find brown. So let's put brown in here. Bam. You guys see how fast that was. It's already gone. So, and that's it. And then this gets pumped up in the wall here into a controller that is, I think, here. Oh boy. I made a boo-boo. Okay, let's put this one back on here and then covered this back up, and now I need to set this up again here real quick. Oh boy. It's on this one. So we are inserting here, and then this is the last one. Extract, 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 and insert into this one here. Right? So nothing is sitting in here now. Okay, where's blue? Okay, it did get sucked out. Alright, so it goes into here and then gets automatically put into these. And we put a void and an emerald upgrade into each one of them so it can hold a bunch of them, right? So that's how I did. And then I just came over here today actually and took out a stack of each. Besides this, I took a couple stacks. So now I always have dye. Whoops, it's called powder, floral powder. So I have all the different dyes available, right, for crafting and so on. So that is really convenient and it's so simple. But now it's time to get power set up in our new area over here. Right now I am borrowing from the factory, from our water wheels. This is ID 1. I'm borrowing the power here from there. And underneath this here, we have ID 2, which comes from our mob rig, right? But I just want to have this temporary so I can get things started here. But I want to make a reactor over here. I decided I want to make a Nuclearcraft reactor first. I think it's called Fission, the Fission reactor. Yes, and the other one, the big one, is the Fusion, which we need to work to first, right? But first we're gonna need the Fission reactor over here. And I did a lot of testing. There is not really a straightforward way of building those, right? You can do whatever you want as long as you don't overheat. And the one I came up with is... It's not cheap to build, but it's also not very expensive compared to, you know, I don't know, like the fusion reactor. So it's doable. It's in our budget, and it's gonna make about 5,160 RF a tick on the cheapest Nuclearcraft fuel. And I only have, I think, about 40 heat to spare. So I balance that as good as I can. You know, I think that the key is to not overheat, but put in as many graphite blocks as you can, and the rods, I think that's what they're called. So the more power you make, right? So anyways, we'll build that as soon as we have the parts ready. Move this around over here, and I put in 2 metallurgic infusers that I want to have right now, because we're gonna need to make steel. And I don't want to have to go over to the factory every time to make steel. It's also much slower. These I can overclock over here and so on. I'm waiting for the sun to go down so I can sleep. So I want to get started with that. And for that, we're going to need to make 2 of these thingamabobs here. Basic control circuits. That's the first thing. So I made 2 metallurgic infusers. One is going to be for redstone dedicated, and the other one for carbon or coal. And then, you know, this is right now just here so I can use it by hand. Eventually, we're going to set these up fully automated in one of these other buildings. I'm not sure. Probably, I think that building, or maybe upstairs in this one. We'll see. But now we got these 2, and now I can make an enrichment chamber. Reason being, you guys just saw, I put in a redstone right here, and it gave me 20, I think. Let's just test it here real quick. One of them gives you 10. Okay? And if I get, let's say, an iron here, because I'm probably going to need some of these here very soon. Let's just make one. Right there. It's enough to make 1 iron, right? But that was 1 redstone, and the same is for coal. But now that I have an enrichment chamber, oops, I just want to set them to no outputs, nothing. We can put a redstone in here. So again, the other one gave us 10, but if we use this one here, it's gonna make us a compressed version. The same is for coal, the same is for diamond. And then I think also the osmium enriched, whatever that other one is called. There's 4 of them. And now if we put this one in here, check it out, they give us 80. So by compressing one of them, you get 8 times as much redstone. So it's going to save you a lot of redstone over time, right? So that's definitely what I want. And I'm going to need a few of these here anyway. So this is going to make, let's just put all of them in here. And I'm going to make a couple more of these just so until this is done, however many it makes. And then toss them in here so this stays full. And then I'm going to do the same for the, sorry, losing my train of thought, for the carbon over here, for the coal. But I wanted to show you guys real quick, if you use 2 coal, or later a fourth of one compressed coal, you can make yourself steel in this machine here. And the reason why I'm making these right now is because the speed upgrades require them and the energy require them. So I'm going to make 8 of each of these and put them in all 3 machines here. I want all 3 of these machines to be as fast as possible and require the minimum required energy. So this is what this one does. But check it out. When you put it through one cycle, you see I still have 10 carbon. You get enriched alloy. You do it again, and it's going to make a steel dust. And so this is going to be much easier to make it on demand, right? Because the reactor casings that we're making and so on, you guys see in a second in the recipes, are going to take, boom, done. And I got a steel ingot. Actually, is this the same steel that we currently have? Immersive thermal foundation. So I want to stop using these. So I'm going to have to get my storage drawer out here once. Let's get this guy and leave it somewhere here with this one here, conversion upgrade. And we'll put that... Let's put that back here. Put this upgrade on there, because now I can put this steel in here. And then right click, and now you see I got all of the same steel. I showed you guys that before. Anyways, so that is... enough. Oh yeah, there we go. So I take these out and put them in here, and you see now we get 880 for 11 of them. So that's really nice. And I guess the is gonna make me 5 of them. All right, I have to wait this out here to make me more, so I can make more speed upgrades. But let's go to the end here and do at Nuclearcraft. Okay, so I'm gonna need... I forgot the amount of how many I need. I'll count that out in a second. I took a bunch of screenshots from the reactor I built in my test world. But I need at a minimum this guy right here. One fission controller. There's 2 different ones. You guys see one says the old controller that will use the old reactor rules. And then there is one for the new reactor rules. Well, I'm going to go for the new stuff. No reason. I don't actually know what the difference is. I did all my testing with the new one here. And then I need a bunch of... these right here, reactor casing. So let's take a look at this real quick. The basic plating is easy. It's just lead with graphite dust. And by the way, graphite dust, in case you're wondering, oh, I need this here. You get by pulverizing a coal or charcoal, and it gives you a pulverized coal. And then when you take the pulverized coal in the manufactory, it turns into a graphite dust. So this is one machine we need to build from Nuclearcraft right now in the beginning. But in order to build this machine, this is all easy. We can build this one already. But if you look at the casings themselves, right there. Why do I keep missing it? Right there. They all look so similar, these blocks, to me. When you look at the tough alloy right here, we're gonna need an alloy furnace, right? And here it is. So we need lithium, which I have a ton of. I just need to make the dust version out of it, or I can even use ingots, but I haven't processed any of my lithium ore. And we need a ferroboron alloy, and the ferroboron alloy is also made in the alloy furnace with steel dust and boron dust. So let's check here real quick. At Nuclearcraft. So I got lithium, so I'm gonna dust this all down, and then we need boron. So I'm going to have to process these 2 stacks, and I cannot put them in these, otherwise they get smelted. So I'm just going to process them in here real quick, so we get 2 stacks of each. It does double it for us, which is nice. And over here we got 24, so that's enough for right now. Let's go ahead and make ourselves... I probably want to... Yeah, let's just make... Whoops. Like that. I made a bunch of osmium dust because I knew I'm gonna need it. So let's just get 8 of these first. And then 4 of these. That's all I have right now. But I'm gonna upgrade this one first because that's the one that makes me all of this. And I always put the energy upgrades in first. You can put other things like muffling. I think that's it. Those 3. Muffling, speed, and energy. Now let's put these in here and see. It's gonna start sucking up more power, of course. And I think, yeah, when you click here, it actually changes to RF. So once I have, that's enough right there, 4. I can make 4 more energy upgrades. So this machine doesn't suck me dry because I have not enough power over in the rig, right? I'm making so much power over there. It finally, look how fast this is now. See, this is nice, and I can keep up with the power because it only uses 200 RF a tick now with these upgrades. So that is very cool. And then, like I said, I'm gonna... Alright, this should probably be enough for a long time here. Yeah. And I'm gonna go ahead and start getting some of these going because, like I said, it's for steel mostly. Alright, lithium is 1 stack done. Let's just go with 1 stack here real quick, and let's do this. Let's put this away. This redstone, I don't... Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention here, I'm going to start using the basic universal cables for everything. Because they're, again, they take steel, but I like these better because number one is they can transfer, I think, 4,000 RF a tick. Actually, 1,200 RF a tick. But later on, if I want to, I can just right-click them and upgrade them. Right, which I like a lot better than the leadstone and whatnot. So these are quite cheap to make, honestly. 2 steel and 1 redstone for 8. That's really, really inexpensive. And iron and coal to make steel, I have plenty. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the alloy thingamabob here from this guy. So we need this one made first. And the basic plating is... Okay, so I need the graphite dust first. So I need the manufactory. This guy right here. So let's make this first. And these I'm gonna set up over here. Already in the proper place. And I'm going to leave 1 spot empty between each one of these machines. Because I don't want to make more than 1 of these if... You know, for now, I should say. And I'm going to be able to, you know, set up auto-crafting recipes and whatnot. I just need to keep myself 1 block in between for import and export buses and whatnot. So now I need to get me... Let's get the pulverized coal. Let's get a stack and start throwing that in there. These also have speed upgrades. Right there. Which I should probably look into. Speed at Nuclearcraft. What does it take to make these? Alright, that's a no-brainer. We're gonna make a few of these here. Let's see on 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's make 4 and 4. Okay, so 4 in the first one and then 4 in the alloy smelter or furnace, whatever that is called. Yeah, that's a significant speed difference. Let's put them all in here and see. So, process power 900 RF a tick. I think this does not go up linear, by the way. It goes up... I don't know what the term is for that. You guys see your speed times 5. Power times 15. If I put in 1 more, it's times 6, but times 21. So, speed always just goes up by 1, but... The power goes up by much more than that. It looks like 3 times. So if I put the other 4, then this should be at 45. I thought it was going to be... No, that's true. Yes. That makes sense. Okay. So by 1 and by 3. So it always takes 3 times as much energy than you get speed out of it. Alright, that's good to know. Alright, this stuff is probably done. Good. And we got the rest of these. So I can make more of the other upgrades, and I'm gonna do that real quick. All 3 of the machines are fully upgraded, and I just got a fresh stack of iron. And look at that. We're gonna be able to make steel so nice and fast, I like it. And then this stuff over here is done as well. And now we put that into here with the... lead, and that's gonna make us the basic plating, and I need 4 right now. Only gonna need make what I actually need. And there we go. So now we got our alloy furnace. And we can put that right here. And give it 4 upgrades as well for now. And now, what was this for again? The reactor casing to make this here. Yes, so I'm gonna need a ferroboron alloy, which is steel dust and boron dust. So I have that boron dust, and I'm just gonna make 32 of these. because I'm gonna need a lot of these casings, but I first want to see how far this goes for me. Now this is enriched iron, so this is not the dust yet. And last one, but look how fast this is. I like it a lot. So that's cool. And also don't forget that, you know, in order to do this later, it's going to be much easier to automate this than the blast furnace over there that is far away. And again, it's time that we move out of the steam age into this age, right? But let's just get a few of these and see how long this takes. There's 20. And put that in here. Steel dust. Okay, so it does work. And then when this cycle is done, the ferroboron, that together with the lithium is going to make us the tough alloy. There's a ton of crafting required for making these things, right? And also understanding in what machines you need to make what. And so instead of showing step by step, I decided to just go ahead and do everything off camera, but always tune in and give you guys an update of what machines I'm adding for what purpose, right? Because I think that would be interesting. So right here, I'm still working on tough alloy because we're going to need a lot more. I already made a stack. And then here, the ferroboron, I added a second alloy furnace because you always need that one to make this one. And you need it for something else as well. So having two of these alloy furnaces is going to come in very handy. Okay? And then I made also a double crusher. Okay? To make pulverized platinum, which we're going to need a little bit of. I need 16, so I have enough right now. And in order to get these 24, let's check here real quick. I did, what is that? That is 1, 2, 3... 6. I had a few left over from something else. I did 6 stacks. Actually, sorry, that doubles it. 3 stacks of nickel ore in order to get these 24. And the reason I'm using the Actual Additions crusher is that when you check the pulverizer, you have a 10% chance to get this as a side product. I have not found... Oh, you can get it off iridium as well. But I have not found any of the platinum ore. I don't know if it doesn't get made. I mean, my quarry should have picked up a couple. Let me check again. Let's just do ore. No, none. I don't have any platinum at all. So I knew I needed to get this as a side product, but the crusher from Actual Addition has a 15% chance to get it as a side product. So that's why I made this guy. And I also wanted to point out that in order to, like, we pulverized coal and then put it into the manufactory right there, right? To get the, oh boy, what is it called? Pulverized graphite dust. Yes. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to put it in here. But you also gonna need graphite ingots, and you can just take charcoal or coal and make it directly instead of taking this and put it in the manufactory to make the graphite dust and then smelting it. I could just make it like this and then pulverize it as well. Check it out. If you put this in here, you get the same thing. You get graphite dust. So there's 2 ways of making it, and I just wanted to show that to you guys. Oh, pulverized charcoal is actually not what I want at all. I don't even want that in my system. Get out of here. But I'm gonna make a couple more stacks of this as well. And now the next step I'm working on is making the... It goes in here. Is making the... I need these things right here. I need 8 of these Enderium coolers for my setup, okay? And the empty coolers are easy. There's the tough alloy with the steel ingot, but I need a bunch of Enderium ingot. And I know there's a way to do it with induction smelter, magma crucible, fluid transposer, and so on. But I wanted to take the Nuclearcraft route, right? And here we can make this in a fluid infuser with resonant ender and lead platinum alloys. And these lead platinum alloys is the one that I need to put in the alloy furnace with the pulverized platinum plus lead. So that's easy to make. And in order to get the resonant ender, I'm going to need to make a melter. What's that thing do? Oh, wow. There's some... Oh, my goodness. Oitectic Nak Ender mixture. I don't know what that is. I don't care. So I need to make a melter. I want to make a melter. And then I can make the resonant ender and then figure out how to pump this over into the fluid infuser. So I'm probably gonna put these two next to each other. So this is the next step here. I need to make these two machines, and I can make them. And then the other thing is I'm just looking for things that we don't have yet. This is easy to make, the nuclear furnace. We've done all that. Here we go. Advanced plating is also, we can make this easily. Machine casing, easy. This stuff right here. That's the only other thing I gotta figure out here real quick. Magnesium diboride alloy, which is, oh yeah, magnesium plus boron. And I got a bunch of magnesium. I gotta make more boron now. And I always do everything in half stacks because this makes me a whole stack, and then I just infuse all of this together. I'm not messing around with this. There we go, and let's do these last ones as well. So I think that I have everything figured out that we need right now. I'm gonna put that in there as well. And this and the iron dust was going in here because I gotta make more iron to make more steel. Yeah, it's just a lot of crafting, but it's not complicated once you know which machine makes you what. And then I also played around with a little bit of lighting here because I don't always want to sleep. You know, when I'm not recording, I like to just work. Nothing can spawn here. I only sleep for you guys, so you can see better. I went a little bit different route here this time. Underneath here is a redstone block, and on top of that is an X-Tone's flat lamp. I cannot put a lever down here because you need to place these flat lamps against a solid block. That's the only reason I have redstone blocks down there. And surrounded by white concrete, and then I put a gray stained glass on top so it kind of fits with the floor, right? And this makes enough light for here. I like it. This is another thing I wanted to start doing here, and you guys need to let me know how you like it. In my vanilla series, I am going to start playing on 25% brightness, and I want to start doing the same in my modded series everywhere, because I think that when you always play on full brightness, well, obviously everything is just bright. You don't get any flavor from the lighting, right? And as you can see here, it gets a lot darker. This room is okay, I think. But this just, makes you actually think about lighting a little bit more to make things look better. Like over here, this is fine running around. Inside, well, I gotta add lights. Where are these lights coming from? Oh, from the outside lanterns. So you guys have to let me know if you hate it, or you like it, or you don't care, or just give me your input down in the comments, please. I'm gonna need a lot of water here very soon to fill one of these types of tanks here, and then for other future crafting recipes. So I decided to set up myself an infinite water source and set up one of these electric pumps here. It looks like... What? You just... Oh, it had power because of my capacitor. My capacitor backpack, or my thing that I'm wearing. By the way, do you guys see? I did not think this through when I put water in here. These hardened, but I'm okay with that. I don't mind this. I'm gonna need some kind of a block here. I think I need to place it. No, again, not. Can I please place you so that thing comes out the front? I don't remember which side does what. One does power and the other one is fluid. And I want to use one of these ender tanks here, and I'm just gonna make him white, white, white. So I think this is power out input. So it might actually not be bad. Let's do this if I come with the power from out there later on. So where did I put all these energy cells? Oh, apparently I put them in the system. Cell. Yes, there we go. I have a few more of these, and for now I need to borrow power again. Okay, so it's full, so the tank maybe goes on top. Yes, okay. And you can also greatly upgrade these guys again with energy and speed, so they are gonna be able to really fill... Oh, it's full now. I'm like, why is this one still empty? That was weird. So I'm later on just gonna run power in from behind here. So that's there, and now we got this. Okay. So that should be all I need for there. And I'm going to dress this up later on, and you guys see I put a couple lanterns up in here because it was so dark. Not factory. I got to type something else. Home factory. Okay, and now we're going to make use of this machine again. We haven't used this one in a long time. So, fluid gets pumped in on one side, but I think you can have multiple fluids. Now my problem is just down there I have a servo, right? See, I don't... How do you get multiple liquids in this machine? It can hold 3 different liquids. I am not familiar with that. Let me see if there's something in the book about that real quick. So the book just said that it has 3 different fluid tanks. And that you can pump it in, but it doesn't tell you anything else. So now, if I'm not mistaken, this pipe holds cryosite. Okay? But I'm wondering if I break this pipe here and then put one of these fluid pipes here, if they might not hold anything. Okay? And if I put... I don't want to put something on top because this is my item input. I guess... Yeah, I want to leave this open. Let's just put this here. And set it to output. So it does work. So you just need that pipe right there. That's smart enough. It probably just passes it through, and if it needs cryosite, it will give it cryosite. At least that's what I'm hoping will happen, okay? So the one recipe I want to do here is, I'm going to need a bucket. I have one, good. And this needs to be with water. What's happening? Why is this not filling now? Well, I have to take a look at what's going on. Why are you not filling? Anyway, let's just put this here, and that should make this water cooler there. Yes. So now if I put these in here, it should craft me those. You know, I just wanted to have something so I don't need to get these buckets. Like, there's an endless water source, where we're gonna need 4 stacks of things that each requires 2 buckets of water. If we ever want to make the Nuclearcraft one, right? So that's pretty crazy. Oh man, I always keep forgetting. Look how dark it is in here. I gotta add lights in here as well. I gotta click on this. It keeps messing me up. Okay, so we got these 8. And this thing here is still... Now it's full with cryosite. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Alright, let's get a bucket of cryosite down here. And then see if we remove this and put a fluid router here. So that is whatever, blue. Blue is only allowed to have water. And B, I'm guessing is bottom, is only allowed to be cryosite. So I guess the easiest way to test if this works now is to get an empty tank and put it here. So that does not fill up. And if I put it on top, it's gonna fill with something. Okay, so to the right is only gonna be water, and to the bottom only cryosite, so it should never be able to mess this up. Guys, every speed upgrade you can make and put in these machines is worth it, because you need to make so much of this tough alloy for this whole process here. And I need 4 more, and then I finally have everything I need. 2 and the last ones. And in order to get the 450 RF a tick for multiple machines over here and so on, I actually upgraded the mechanism cables here already to the advanced universal cables, and it's actually pretty cool. I don't think I've ever done that before. The way you do it is you right-click it with enriched alloy. The one that is redstone and iron in the metallurgic infuser. And then it upgrades 8 cables at once. So it's super cheap. And then I actually placed on all my remaining cables and upgraded those as well to advanced. So that is amazing how cheap that is. But anyway, let's make the last parts here, and then I'm just going to give you the total of items that you're gonna need for this project here in case you want to build the same one. I should have 40. Perfect. So you need 17 glowstone coolers, 8 water coolers, 8 Enderium, 126 reactor casings, the fission controller, 40 reactor cells, and 8 graphite blocks. And the other thing I've been doing is I put in a stack of thorium ore in here. And this is the second half of it. It gives you the thorium dust. And then you put that in an isotope separator. And that makes you thorium-232 and the tiny clump of 230. Okay? And that is actually going to be the fuel that we're going to be using for this. There's many, many different fuels you guys see down here. And the cool thing is there's no more rods. And this is how you make it right here. So this is 1 TBU fuel. We're only going to make 1 right now. That's good enough for our setup. And let's get building here. I just made sure that I'm actually recording. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and then we're going to make this 3 wide. So this is your base. You built the whole reactor without the edges. Okay, and now I have to consult my screenshots here. Yes. So I've read that when you put these thorium... I'm so thorium damaged. Enderium coolers in the 4 corners, you get a cooling bonus. And I needed that in order to actually get to the power I want, okay? And then we're gonna have alternating a graphite block. So there's 4 down here. What the graphite blocks do, when they touch the things right here, the reactor cells, they boost it. You don't need any of them. If you have problems with heating, always remove a graphite block first. That's what I did when I figured out a good setup that I like, okay? There we go. So this is the bottom. And actually, there's one more here. Did I put that one? Yes. And now the rest here on this level. What is wrong with me? I didn't make enough water coolers. I don't know what I was counting there. And by the way, now that I'm looking at my screenshots, these are not water coolers. I am so sorry, guys. We can use these again later for something, I'm sure. I used lapis coolers, not water. Oh boy, hopefully I have enough stuff to make this now. Let's take this with me. Ay, ay, ay. Man, hours and hours of crafting. Only to find out that you made the wrong stuff. These are the ones I want, the lapis coolers. And I need 2, 4, 6, 12, 14, 16, 17 of them. What was I thinking? Okay. That in there. 14, 16, 18, yes, I got enough. Alright, good. And what happened over here? I don't know. Let's go ahead. So I'm gonna need you right there. I'm just gonna make a stack. I don't even have a stack. Holy shnikes, I need lapis. Wow. Okay, I'm not gonna shift click because I might have extra of the coolers. Yes, like I said. Okay. And then let's break this down again. Why do I have so many lapis blocks? I'm not sure. Doesn't matter. Okay, so I got 17 of these now. Man, I can't believe I messed it up. Sorry about that. Alright, so these go... Yes. 6 on this level. Alright, now we're going up 1 level. And this one is a little bit easier. Now you guys see the reactor things here. The reactor cells never touch each other, okay? Because that way you share the walls from the coolers as well as the graphite blocks with the other ones. And again, only in the corners do you need the Enderium ones. And the rest of this is going to be lapis coolers. Down the middle and on the edges we are using... I know what I did. I needed 8 of these and not 17. That's what I messed up. You see, I made 17 of these and... okay. Well, it's okay. Just a little bit of materials. Okay, and then again in the corners we're gonna put the 4 Enderium coolers. Man, I really hope that I didn't mess something else up. And then the whole spiel the other way. Again, reactor cells right here. And then in the middle here we're gonna use the graphite blocks. And then on the edges, one more time, the lapis coolers. All right, and there's really good spreadsheets and whatnot out there that tell you exactly how much each one of these does compared to the water, and there's so many different coolers. But this is just the ones that I came up with, and they worked out nicely. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, let's go across like this, and use our trusty builder's wand. I don't need a builder's wand for these, and you just encase the entire thing with that. Come on. Bam, and 9 more right here, so at least I didn't mess that count up. Alright, cool. So this is the reactor. And this thing right here, you can put wherever you want. Okay, I can put it here. Look it up. It shows me 3 by 3 by 9. Anywhere on any of the edges. I didn't even check. Can I put it here? Yes. Anywhere you want. Okay, I'm just gonna keep it in the middle here. I don't know. I kind of like it in the middle. Now, before I even put fuel in there, you guys see I have 40 cells in it, and I can cool up to 2,520 heat. Okay, that's just a unit heat. Okay, and if I would put this in here now, it will not start, but I'm not going to put it yet because I want to set up the redstone first. Now, if I didn't mess anything else up, I should not have any problems with heat. The thing can run forever, and it doesn't go up in heat, down in heat, nothing. It's very safe, okay? And it doesn't start until you give it a redstone signal, all right? And I want to set up a failsafe. Not a failsafe, sorry. Not at all a failsafe, my bad. The internal storage here, when it's full with power, it keeps burning the fuel. I want it to turn off when the internal storage is full. Okay, so what I need to do is make an inverted redstone signal. All right, so that's what we're going to use integrated dynamics from. Can I sleep now? Thank you. And we are going to put that... Let's put it on this edge over here. Let's put it out of the way. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a redstone rider against this cable. And you need to make sure you set it to strong. True. Otherwise, it cannot disable the redstone torch that we're going to put against it. So right now, by default, it would be on. It would be running, okay? But what we're going to do is actually read with a machine reader. And we're going to put against this and connect it via a cable. And then we go into here and right-click and then say, go down to... Is FE buffer full? Okay, this is where I'm going to put this variable card. And now if I put it into this here, it's going to show us up here false. Redstone, bam, false. Because it's not full. But when it's full, the internal buffer, it's true and it's going to disable the torch, which means the whole thing will stop. Okay, but now, just to make sure, okay, what I would do is I'm taking the redstone torn off, so nothing will be on. It cannot power anything. And now we put the fuel in here. And you see, it's going to make 5,160 R for tick, and I have 36 heat left. This is really good. I was very proud to get to this. So that's it. And now if I put the redstone torch, this whole thing will start going. And... What? Alright guys, I finally figured out what was going on with that redstone mechanic over here, and I'm going to explain it to you. I learned a couple of things, and I don't think there's any microblocks that are ready for this yet, so I'm just going to put covers on the outside of this to cover it up so you can't see it anymore. How does it look from the inside? Terrible. I'm going to have to rethink this here, what I'm going to do with these cables. But anyways, so the whole thing behind, the problem behind this, I want to get my energy trash can here real quick so I can show you guys this properly. And let's leave all this here. Is that you can only read and talk to in anything to the controller directly, okay? Now, I was under the impression... I don't know why I had that impression, I just did, is that I can read and redstone control this from any block on this. But it doesn't actually form a multi-block, right? So this controller knows where the reactor is, but this is just a regular reactor casing to the rest of the world. It doesn't know that this is a reactor. So usually I put a lever above it, right? And when you flip that, it powers that block, and then it powers the controller. You can also put the lever anywhere on each one of these faces, right? So that was my problem, is when we set it up over here, this didn't read anything, nothing. And I noticed that when I placed this machine reader directly against the controller, and then came down here and, not EU, we need the, right there, FE. You guys see it shows you the current stored, the capacity, and the fill ratio. This is the one that I'm actually using to control it. So this right now is at 76%. A little bit higher than that, right? And also, if you redstone power this, it doesn't matter. You need to directly power the controller, or the block above it strong. So I did pretty much the same setup now that I did over in the mob rig with our steam turbine. Reason being is that when I had it finally running, I noticed that when this was full, every time it missed RF, 1 RF, it kicked in again, right? And it also uses a certain, let's say this is divided into 100 different slices, right? Every time it kicks in, it uses a slice. If it makes 1 RF or 100,000 RF, right? Let's say one slice of this makes you 1,000,000. I'm just making this number up, right? Well, if you only make one and then it turns off again and it lost that whole slice, it's going to waste a lot of fuel. Just like with the steam. I hope that makes sense. So you actually don't want this to turn on until you need a bunch. Like now would be fine if I turn it on, right? But the two numbers I did is when it falls below 20%, it turns on, and then it turns off again when it's above 90%. So how this overall works, you guys see there's a bunch of cards in here again. I am reading the FE fill ratio. That's from the thing directly. And then I set up 2 variable cards in the type double. And instead of integer on the oil rig, we have integer. Here we use double because I need to be able to do a decimal point. 0.2 means 20%. 0.9 means 90%. And then I'm checking here. If this is less than this, write this card. And if this is less than 90%, this card. And then here, the next one here is I am reading this redstone reader from this redstone lamp right here. And I explained to you guys why this is set up in just a second this way. So I'm reading that right there. I'm reading the redstone. Is there a redstone signal? Is this lamp on or off? And then I'm right here doing an AND. And I'm saying if less than 90% and that lamp is on, I write this card. Okay, and then I have 2 other cards again, one set to this redstone and one to this lever. And then everything together is up here in this one, this big card, where I say OR. So where I say if less than 20 or this card. And don't forget, this card checks if it's less than 90 and the redstone is on. So what this card up here is overall, if this is at less than 20%, or it is at less than 90% and this lamp is on, turn it on, okay? And the reason why I'm writing this to the redstone lamp here instead of to this directly is that I wanted to bring in this lever as well, okay? Over on the oil rig, this was easier to do because we don't have a manual turn off switch. And we have the redstone lamp sitting directly against the controller. But in my example here, I don't want to put this lamp directly against the controller because I only have 2 faces left, right? And I'm going to eventually have to pump in items and pull items back out. And the face underneath, of course, is where the power comes out. And that is why I have the lamp up here. So the actual turning on card, this one here, reads and does an AND. If this is on and this is on, then turn on the reactor, okay? By powering this block. So now you guys see we're at whatever percent here. What is that, 70% or something? So what I'm going to do here real quick is siphon out some power. I could put the trash can directly next to it, which would suck this out empty instantly. I learned that today. But now, right now, I'm limited by how much power is going through this cable. So now, as soon as this goes below 20%, you guys are going to see this turns on. And, well, actually, we can turn the lever off. Just so you guys can see that that works as well. So now the lamp is on. Okay, and we're at less than 20%, but nothing is happening because this lever isn't on. But now that I turn it on, it's gonna charge all the way up to 90%, and then everything turns off again. So I have a manual override and a fuel saving setup right here. And also, by the way, don't forget, I set up everything within chunks, right? I knew that this building is across 2 chunks here for the reactors, and then these machines out here, I don't really care if they're in a different chunk, right? But this multi-block is in the same chunk together with the redstone, so always keep that in mind when you build a multi-block machine, okay? That's really important. But anyways, guys, so that is it for today. I'm very happy. I already ran the power over here, as you guys saw. The energy cell down here is gone and back in my system. So I still borrow power over here, but this is because it's a temporary setup. I don't... Once I put this somewhere permanently, I'm going to run it on our power here. And the fuel pump is now running on this as well. And I'm going to figure out how to make this a little nicer. I don't know. I might, instead of coming in from the bottom, I might come in from the top and then move this pump away from the wall or turn it to the side so the power comes in from the left or from the right. Actually, can I turn this? Where is that weird screwdriver? Did I not make one of those yet? What is that thing called again? No, we haven't done any mechanism machines. Doesn't matter. I'll do it between episodes. It's just turning this. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thanks for watching, and I'm very happy we got power. And until next time, take care, stay safe, and bye-bye.